As you were hearing the discussion in the studio regarding the No Kings protest, the third time that this is happening, and not only so, various movements in the Middle East. We have seen the Iranian military Khatam al-Anbiya spokesperson Ibrahim Zolfagari coming to say that Donald Trump is negotiating with himself, and he has not mentioned who in the Iranian government is calling for a negotiation. More on that with our Pakistani correspondent. But I want to know from Norman, what are the other updates that you have for us from Washington, D.C.? Norman, I hope you're having a good morning.
Greetings, good morning from the district. Today is Sunday. Tomorrow there's an expectation we have uh, transportation security people who are out of work. TSA has people not been paid for several weeks, months, getting the months time. People have left the job. They have quit. They got other jobs. People are calling out. So consequently, the transportation issue in the United States is a big mess, meaning major airports like the one here in Washington, there's a 4 hour wait to get into the terminal. And then there's another 2 or 3 hours wait to get through the screening process. And the reason for that is that we do not have enough skilled, trained screeners working right now. The government has brought in ICE agents to basically provide supplemental security for crowd control, but they do not have the skills or the legal authority to do any screening. So the issue is still the shortage of screeners. So the lines will still be longer as we go into what we call spring break. We're getting into the Easter holidays. So the transportation issue in the United States is as I call it, a big hot mess right now. You're looking at 4 to 5 hours of getting in the airport, and more or less coming back into the United States, you have the same thing in reverse. So right now, the issue is the president has put a emergency sanction, emergency bill in order to pay the TSA agents hopefully today, or well, hopefully Monday, by Monday, to give them some payments. But the problem still remains. The TSA system has basically failed. The Homeland Security, the Department of Homeland Security funding bill has failed on the floor. Congress has went home for 2 weeks vacation, so there'll be no votes on that. So even if Monday, let's say Monday, the funds are put in to pay these employees, it will be too late. The situation is basically for every day that we have this shutdown, you're looking at 3 days of recovery from the time. So it would take at least a month or so before we get back to full operations, pending operational staffing. People have quit. Over 400 quit Friday. Uh, we got 61,000 employees. Uh, Half of them are not working. Half of them are planning who are working. They can't go home because they don't have the money, the fuel. People are selling blood to basically try to make ends meet. They don't have food to put on the table. They don't have. They can't pay for daycare. So this is again another hot mess that is going on in the United States. In addition to the protesters that is happening. So right now we have a situation here where the Americans are being affected at the points, the kitchen tables, and even during the time they're trying to travel.
Of
Companies
course.
here are now passing on that transportation, the cost of this war on to the consumers. One company I will note, the United States Partial Post Delivery, the U.S. Postal Service, delivery service, has imposed an 8% surplus for the cost of transportation fuel onto every single consumer that is using that service. So you're going to see a lot of hurt coming up for the people of the United States. I'm saying the people who are basically have to dig deeper into their pockets, decide whether or not we eat a meal today or do we pay the bill. They have to make that decision. So right now it is a hot mess.
Ansar Allah Houthis from the Yemen, those who are ruling Yemen, had said that they will close the Bab al Mandab Strait, which is linking in to the Mediterranean Sea at the Red Sea. The spokesperson Yahya Sari had said that we will be supporting Iran in this war. I just want to understand how Norman Floyd Barnes feels about this of the triaxis of evil, as Israeli politicians have said. We have Lebanon, and we have Yemen, we have Iran. This triangle is now creating an effect and also making it harder for any kind of interception by the US and Israeli forces. I want to know more from our correspondents abroad. I hope we have Norman Floyd Barnes, if not Mohammed Musab. I want to know how you both are feeling about this.
Hello, hello. Yeah, this is
Right.
Norman. Yes, this is the situation has it shouldn't be to anyone's surprise that the Houthis are being involved. They were just watching and waiting for the opportunity,
কতক্ষণ আছে?
and that opportunity has allowed itself. The Red Sea. The Red Sea is another corridor where 12% of the world transportation deal with goods, services, and everything goes through. So we have now the Strait of Hormuz, and we have now the Red Sea being uh, looked at as choke points. The Houthis has sent two missiles to Israel announcing themselves that we are now engaged in this war, which means that the next move will be is to control the Red Sea at the Strait, just like it's been done in the Strait of Hormuz. And that is going to cause a real problem for the United States. So now you have, instead of one front, you got two fronts, and we got the front going on with the in Lebanon. What's next? We're looking for, as it stated, the president is looking for an off ramp, a way to get out of this.
Right.
But unfortunately, we are looking like we are in quicksand. We're basically involved in it. We absorb it. We're gonna have to deal with it. Uh, you're going to have to deal with both areas at the same time. So the contemplation of bringing foot troops in is something that's being put on the table, but I do not like that concept because it's a trap.
Of
There's
course.
no way it's going to be successful
Right.
if we put troops on the ground at this time
Right.
in that area. It would be like a trap. It would be more like a trap. So basically, what you're seeing now is the Houthis are now stirring up the pot, sending missiles over, say, hey, we're in this thing. And the next thing you're going to see is that we're going to put toll gates up in the Red Sea, similar to what's going on. And we're going to shut this whole thing down. The global markets, everybody's going to crumble to the knees. That's what they want to see how the inflation is going to cause how food, transportation, fertilizer, all the essentials, water is going to be an issue as we get on to the situation. So right now, this coalition is developing, and you're going to hear more about it. Comes up with Iran and the Houthis and whoever else that wants to engage in this, how they're going to fight against